Test, 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 test.
I've come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done, the work's begun.
Nike Trail has the right shoe for any adventure, with the Pegasus 4 for road and trail, Zagama for the rugged outdoors, or the Ultrafly for speed and traction.
For a second. Or maybe test, 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 test. It won't be on now. Let me see, but it should be on now. Okay. And then we'll just hit it again.
Check.
Check,
You
check,
are
check,
here.
check,
And
check,
when you
check.
earn 5 times membership rewards points on travel with the Amex Platinum card, you
Can we check his mic? Can we check Brock's mic really quick?
Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. Check 5. I think that's it. Do we hear? Check, check, check. Do you hear me?
These guys, I know.
Are we good?
You don't know Polish things.
Check, check. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to First Unitarian. Please rise and embody your spirit as we sing Joy in the Morning. We'll find joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. In the morning we'll find joy. We find hope.
that, can't you? All the love all around us. Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Rochester. That is indeed where we all find ourselves now, whether we're joining online or here in person. But here in this room, that love, it's not just First Unitarian. We are here on a very special Sunday. It's Music Sunday here, which is an annual tradition. And today we're joined not only by our ukulele orchestra, which which comprises not only members of our congregation, but also a few members of Temple Sinai. And yeah. And our choir today is massive. It is two choirs, not just the choir of First Unitarian, but also the choir of First Universalist, our downtown siblings. And theoretically, this is the third Sunday of a pulpit swap, a practice that we've begun where the ministers of the congregations go to the other Unitarian Universalist congregations in town. So 2 weeks ago, I was at First Universalist. Last week, I was at Canandaigua. And this week I'm with all of you. And it is so, so good to be together. We're joined not only by choir members from First Universalist, but their music director, Brock Tjosvold, is here. Yeah. And Music Sunday is really his gift of ministry is with us nearly. You know, if there's ever a sign that, hey, Music Sunday is not really about talking, our worship is primarily led today, not only by the spirit of love, but Pablo Willey-Bustos. We're thrilled to welcome guest musicians accompanying our choirs, and every week this is true, but especially this week, we couldn't do any of this without our amazing AV team up in the loft. And Sunday, what we do together, what we gather together, and yes, even music, it's not just the job of those who are gathered here. It is something we do together. You come here to this space, and in many ways, it is one of the few hours of your life where nothing is required of you. You're not asked to produce a report at the end of it. I can stay in one spot. It's a place to come, just as you are, to be together. But what we do on Sunday morning, what we're able to create when we unite our voices in song, when we take breath together, and when we gather, bringing our hearts to a place where our burdens and our joys, all that we do together is shared. None of this is our work alone. It is good to be together. So welcome to First Unitarian Church of Rochester. We gather here on the contemporary and ancestral land of the Haudenosaunee. We gather here on this land, those who have come many, many times before, and those who maybe are brand new. If you're looking to get connected, if you want to let us know that you're here and you want to help us help you meet more people, stop by the welcome desk or let one of our greeters or ushers know. And if you're here today because you're going through a hard time, you knew nothing about Music Sunday at all, but you knew you needed to come to church or to a place today because you've got something on your heart, our pastoral care associate, Jane, is waving right now, and she'll meet you out in the lobby during the service or find a private space afterwards to connect. It is so good to be together. Come, let us sing again.
And they'll be playing a fun piece that we arranged for them, mashup between from Handel's Zadok the Priest and the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun.
Is that Here Comes the Sun, or wait, Here Comes the Chalice lighting that I forgot to do? Music is Such an inspiration. So, Dodie is going to light the chalice, and I invite you to join me in our unison words. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. I'm Reverend Shari. I'm one of the ministers that serves this congregation, one of three, along with Reverend AJ and Reverend Verdis. But we are only three of what is now becoming quite many, in my biased opinion, amazing Unitarian Universalist ministers in Rochester. And as I shared with First Universalist a couple of weeks ago, one of my great joys is inviting, though they may not see it this way, inviting Reverend Lane May Reed Campbell, the minister of First Universalist, to take pictures with me with the mascots at Red Wings games. One is not enough. You really need both of them for the photo to count. And that's also true for both of us, I tell them, when they say, why don't you do it alone? 2 years ago, the two of us, plus a few others, found ourselves on a beautiful May day, such as today, and decided after church we'd go to a Red Wings game. We settled into our seats and began our old routines. I with my photo invitations, my wife buying a hot dog for every inning. And as we get older and indigestion becomes more common, more forceful about how really 4 innings is enough. And we're laughing and having fun, and well, suddenly I get a couple of texts, and the texts say, check your email. My instinct is, no thank you. But I do it because, well, the texts are from people who don't normally do this, and I'm worried. I wonder what's going on. So I check my email, and it's, well, the text and the photos that entered into my inbox, they were from a couple of people now who I see looking out. They were photos of the backs of our heads. And a simple line that said, sounds like you're having a good time. And I think this is why we come to church. We come because we never know who's there to witness our joy. We hope that when we're silly and having fun, that we have good company. And we hope that whatever it is that life brings us, whether we know it or not, we are not alone. Thank you. Thank you. I invite you to join me in a shared silence. There can be no words. I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation. Spirit of love, God of many names and no name at all. Abundant love that holds us, that will not abandon us, that will not let us fall through this earth. Feel the steadiness in this room. The wiggling and the trembling, the breath and the being. It does not always feel like it. We so often get it wrong, but let today be a testimony to the goodness of being together. Let the sound of voices joining with strings, directed under capable hands, never perfect, but so good. Let this be a witness to this life we live together. For all the moments we have hurt or harmed one another, for the wounds we carry still into this moment, the anger, the resentment, the grief. For war and violence, for poverty and neglect, for all the ways we get it wrong. This life is still worth doing together. Together we are capable of grasping some of the beauty of this world. And if we are open to it, the music flows in, pours into our hearts, expands our lives in ways we least expect it. Let today, let joy, let listening, let the goodness of being together be a testimony. Here in this space, we gather often in ritual to lay down the burdens that we carry. We gather in ritual, often moving our bodies to witness to the grief and the growth and the gratitude of our lives. And today, here in this space, there are a few more of us than usual. So not a great time for many fires. And so in the spirit of prayer, in the spirit of connecting with something beyond ourselves, in the spirit of tapping into what is innermost in our hearts, I invite us to lift our eyes, to look around this room, and to find someone with your eyes only, but also an open heart, who you don't yet know, someone whose story you don't know, someone whose story is not yet part of yours. And there are a lot of you looking at me. And I might fit the bill, but there are others. And online, I invite you to find someone here in this room. And either out loud or simply in your heart, offer to that person whatever grief or growth or gratitude is here on your heart today. I'm praying for the families today of those impacted by war, but also of the ordinary chaos of traffic accidents. Whatever it is that you're carrying, send it to someone else. I don't know what it is that that person is carrying today. But I know, too, that having fixed their faces in your gaze for a little bit of time, you have some love to send them. Something to offer. A kernel of courage or strength. A word of hope or inspiration. So bring that same person to mind. And this time, I especially invite you, whatever word or phrase comes to mind for you, to say it loudly, because I know I could use all the help I could get. We'll do it on the count of 3 so you don't feel shy. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I needed that. In the spirit of all that we bring together, in witness to this testimony that when we get together, we do not always mess it up. It is beautiful. It is music. Amen. Blessed be. And Ashe.
Okay, good. Go. I've come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done, the work's begun. I come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief, depressed, confused, and mad. Well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. it didn't break until right now. I sing of hope and don't know how. So maybe I can substitute strength because I'm strong. I'm strong enough. I got through lots of things I didn't think I could. And so did you. I know that's true. And so I sing a song about hope. Though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it, I have to try and show my loved ones I can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. See, I said hope. The work begins. So maybe we can substitute strength because I'm strong enough. We got through lots of things we didn't think we could. I know that's true. I know that's true. And so I sing a song about joy. Though we can't guarantee there's something real behind it, we have to try and show our loved ones we can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. That brings me joy. The work begins.
Thank you, Brock and Kitty. What a gift from First Universalist to our gathering. Everything our church does, or really any church, any congregation or gathering, everything our church does for ourselves and for others is made possible by what we bring to it. And so each week we practice shared generosity, and it's one of the ways that we support the work and witness of Unitarian Universalism in Rochester. Every week we practice shared generosity by sharing our Sunday offering. We give half to a partner organization working to create a more just and loving and beautiful world. And so fitting today, we split our offering with another organization that makes music a part of what Rochester is. We share our plate with the Hochstein School today. And for many in this room, I know that needs no introduction, but Hochstein provides music opportunities not only for those of us like myself who take pleasure and joy and find hope and inspiration in seeing music, but many learn to play, to participate, to realize that the beauty of the world is not simply something we witness, but are actively involved in co-creating. And so in the spirit of abundance and generosity and participation, our offering is now received with gratitude. And you can give online. Oh yeah, it's online, but the sun is, well, that Beatles song did its job. I can't see it at all. You can give online or into the baskets. I invite the ushers to come forward. Our reading today comes from the book of Acts in the Christian Bible. When the day of Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place. And suddenly from heaven there came a sound like the rush of a violent wind, and it filled the entire house where they were sitting.
Divided tongues as a fire appeared among them, and a tongue rested on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages as the Spirit gave them ability.
Now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven living in Jerusalem. And at this sound the crowd gathered and was bewildered, because each heard them speaking in the native language of each.
When the day of Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place.
Tout à coup, il vient du ciel un bruit comme celui d'un vent impétueux, et il remplit toute la maison où ils étaient assis.
Y se les aparecieron lenguas repartidas como de fuego, asentándose sobre cada uno de ellos. Et repletisunt omnes Spiritus Sancto, et cuperunt loqui alis linguis, prut Spiritus Sanctus dabat eloqui illis. Es wohnen aber in Jerusalem Juden, die waren gottesfürchtige Männer aus allen Völkern unter dem Himmel.
And at this sound, the crowd gathered and was bewildered, because each heard them speaking in the native language of each. Now, I have no delusions that we've managed to cover the native languages of each here in this room. Looking around just by the people I know, there are at least 3 we'd need to add. But, well, if you're an immigrant or you've lived in a family where another language is spoken other than the language that you're surrounded in now, or if you've ever had the experience of living elsewhere, or perhaps in an ethnic enclave where the dominant language is not your own, or even extended travels, you may know something of the loneliness of not hearing your mother tongue, something of knowing yourself to be in community, and yet in some way having always to do some work to arrive in companionship with others. We often think music offers us a way out of this, that music is a universal connector, something beautiful and maybe pure. But the truth of the matter is we have a great many opinions and home languages when it comes to music. I get no more emails about any other topic than music. What we selected and what we did not select. Who did what and how we did it, and for whom it is for. Excepting today, of course, because this could not be the case. But the conventional wisdom about any congregation that hopes to be multi-generational, not to mention multicultural, multiracial, or multi-ethnic, to be multi-generational, everyone, nearly everyone, because as much as many of us claim to have eclectic taste in music, there are a great many genres we don't particularly enjoy or feel open to or find spiritual. Nearly everyone in a multi-generational congregation has to strongly dislike 30% of the music at minimum. That's a pretty hard sell. It's one thing to say, okay, I don't have to like everything. Very occasionally something happens that maybe doesn't connect with my spirit, but 30%? That's 2 songs minimum a week. And if you're finding, as I am, that that's not your experience, then it turns out that someone else is bearing that burden. someone else is finding that when they arrive here to witness to the testimony of what is possible to do together, to find themselves open to a truth that though humans so often mess it up when we try to do things together, very occasionally we get it right, that there isn't a moment where their home language, their mother tongue of music, is their own. That the essential loneliness of not hearing the language of your heart, that which comes down like flames into the house in our story, comes down like a gift to people who did not have that skill a moment before. Well, that burden is borne by some folks more than others. My suspicion is that most of us don't strongly dislike 30% of the music. Good luck, Pablo, if that's the case. But the story calls us to a possibility where our job as people who witness to the goodness of doing something together and what is possible is to learn tongues and to create space for others who aren't yet able to hear the music that stirs their soul. On a day like today, when many of us found ourselves in tears at some point in this hour, found that the music opened us up to not only the grief and the burdens that we carry in, but also the beauty and possibility that we know to be true in our bones. On a day like today, the task is not to say that our language, and in truth our languages here, is wrong or bad, but simply to note that it is not the only good one. And that if today, if this gathering can be a testimony to all that we can do together, to be the culmination of a thing that as I look over, I know Lou Ward Baker has been trying to get us to do, to get these choirs together for decades. It just seemed like the right thing to do. If the right thing to do can be a culmination of patience, of persistence, and a whole lot of effort, let's be clear. A whole lot of effort and learning to be together. If today can be a witness to that which is possible, to the truth that though we mess it up so often, that the tendrils of the ways in which we are not perfect, that the tendrils of white supremacy and sexism and violence that the world loads onto our shoulders and that we bring into our everyday interactions are not absent, even in that context that we sometimes get it right, then let this story and this day call us to a bigger mission. Call us to a world where we gather here to be with some of the people we know, gather to hear some of the words and music that we feel, that help us to feel like this is home. And to know that our task is to go out into the world and to make this a home for more, for those who have not yet found their language, those whose music is not yet here. May we find ourselves here celebrating with joy and with love the great delight of loving music and the great task of disliking 30%. May it be so. Amen.
rise in body or spirit as we sing this joy.
Thank you to all of us, all of you, for this Music Sunday. Thank you for helping to teach us to bear witness to a world, a church, a congregation where what we do together is not simply come on Sundays to watch, but to be led and to live as the church. For this united choir, may we go out into the world bringing our love. But before we do, I'll tell you a little bit about Connection, so you may want to take a seat. I know. So, for those of you who don't yet know this, through these doors you'll find coffee. It's a beautiful thing. And when you get your coffee or other beverage and snacks, you're invited to do one of a number of things. Certainly to find someone you don't yet know and introduce yourself, to say hello. If you'd like to meet our candidates for our nominating committee or the board of trustees, they're gathering in the Susan B. Anthony Lounge. There's a mysterious spring cleaning happening in Williams. I have no idea what that is, but I like it. Some of you should do that. The Reproductive Justice Ministry is meeting. There's a climate resilience skill up that's focusing on disaster preparedness. What can you and your family do as we face more frequent extreme weather events and other disasters? Parents of trans kids or youth or young adults, including non-binary kids, you're invited to gather. And if you're planning to join this congregation soon, I guess that's you. Love that. No, that was awesome. UU 201, what's the nuts and bolts of what it means to join? I'll be meeting with you all upstairs. As for the rest of you, if you're like, all of that sounds bad, I don't want to do a darn thing, I've got the thing for you. You can help stack the chairs with arms. We'd really appreciate it. The church, it's what we do together. So, let us extinguish our chalice with our unison words. We extinguish this flame. Let us go singing. Let us go knowing that our voices are stronger together and that we come together to feel courage and strength and hope, and that it is our job to bring it to the world. I love you. Go in peace. Go in love. Amen.